I'm so excited to bring the podcast back to everybody, except this time it's going to be a little bit different. What you're going to be listening to now are my coaching lab calls. These are Zoom calls every Tuesday and Thursday with my Canines and Culture members, and you'll be hearing how I dissect their behaviors that they're struggling with, break them down, and set them up for a path of success. If this is something that you're interested in being a part of, just click the link in the show notes for more information. Hope to see you on the next call.
Nobody likes a bad dog till there's trouble at the door.
Welcome to the Vermont Dog Trainer Show, your common sense, down-to-earth advisor on all things dog training. Here's your host, Ian Grant.
All right, so more sleep is always a good thing.
More sleep, yeah. I've been working with what you said, like when she starts, I hear her like start to move around, like trying to get her to settle down.
Yeah.
So it's been working. I mean, we're still getting up at least once in the night, but if it's spreading out more. So that's good.
So what have you found in that moment though? Like, can you have her chill out for a couple more minutes, or does she get squirmy?
No, usually I would say 9 times out of 10, she will settle back down. If she's still staying squirmy, like, and she'll settle down like maybe another like 30 to 60 minutes. So it's like, but if she's like too squirmy, then, once she jumps off the bed, then I'm like, okay, she has to really go.
Right.
So
right.
I feel like I'm reading her signals better too, though.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. And then we had she had a big breakthrough yesterday. I think I'm the problem. So she was super scruffy when I got her, and I wasn't sure about her fur, like if she needed to be groomed, because when the foster mom had her, her fur didn't really grow at all and it looked real scraggly. But then in the 5 weeks I had her, like just with better food and like the fish oil, like it started filling out really nicely. Yeah. And so I actually took her to get groomed yesterday. And it's like when you take your kids to somebody else's house and they behave without a problem. Like, zero. So I took them and I warned them and I said, sometimes she freaks out if I step away, even if I give you the leash. I said, but we'll just do it anyway. And they're like, no, they work with a lot of different kinds of dogs. Yeah. No peep, not a peep out of her the whole time I was gone. She did not howl, bark, cry, anything, nothing. And when I came back, she was like ready to bolt out the door though. She's like, oh, great, you're here. Let's go. And I'm like, wait, I got to pay. Like, she didn't even want a treat from them. She was like, I'm done. But they said she was amazing. And when I first started leaving, I could hear howling and I was sure it was her, but they have cameras everywhere. And they're like, that's not her. That's not her. And I'm like, okay. So I think I'm the one that's having the attachment issues. Like when I'm leaving her, and you are definitely right. It's definitely drooling. I'm sure, even though I haven't set up the camera, but like, I felt like that was a big breakthrough for her, more her than me. Yeah. But, like when I left her again today to go do my workout, she was it's just that there's so much drool for a dog her size. I guess that's what freaks me out. And I don't know how to help her with that. But I will say she is calming down more. A lot of times when I come to the door, like I can hear her, she'll get quiet, or she is sometimes quiet already. And when I come in, her tail starts wagging immediately. But now she's not doing that like whimper as I walk over to let her out. She's quieter than she was even like 5 days ago. But it's still like drool everywhere and just so I guess it's just time.
That's a part of it. So the other thing too is like she behaves in that setting because she's not naturally a forward kind of girl, right? Meaning she's not going to be pushy. She's not going to try to control the situation.
Right. She's an avoider.
She may, depending on what's going on and who's around her, she may be triggered to kind of be the pushy one, the forward one. But, and this happened a lot too when we did daycare. Dogs would come in and they did great. And their owners are like, what the heck? This is not,
This is not my dog.
Right. So, but a big part of it is that you're putting her leash into experienced hands. So they know what the limits are. They already know, like, yeah, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, right? And so what I find is that the dog immediately goes, oh, this is new and this person is about rules and boundaries first, is not about love and affection and snuggles first. Do you
Okay.
see what I mean?
Yeah, and they were very calm and obviously
Yeah.
they know what they're doing better than me. But
Yeah. 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 And so that's a big part of it. There's the newness, the new environment, the handling, the experience from the person. So all these added up, and then you can get a dog like her that goes, got it. I'm good. You just tell me what I need to do, and I will fall in line. So if anything, that gives us the information that if you are to tweak things, which you slowly will be here, especially once we get into leash handling and really get going, is that when you start to tweak things, she's going to be like, got it. No problem. Should have told me this before. Right?
yeah,
Yeah. So she's that type of dog, which is great to know. You know, she didn't go in there barking, snarling,
no.
howling, all those other
I
big
expected that, to
emotions.
be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So to me, she didn't put up a fuss, right?
Mm-mm.
Now, that's not to say that if you did that every day for a few weeks, that she wouldn't start putting up a fuss, right? Not saying that. But
Right.
what we're saying is at some point it would probably get limited, and then it gets addressed. So I experience the same thing. Like if I go into a house and somebody's like, wow, dog doesn't normally do that. Well, I didn't come in the way normally people normally would.
True.
I'm not getting down and talking in a baby voice to a dog and, the whole thing. So, um, yeah, there's a lot of it. There's a lot to be said about newness to a dog because when something's new to a dog, it can like change everything,
Hmm.
right? If you just started to renovate your house tomorrow and all the construction workers show up, that is all brand new to her. She could be like, what in the world is happening now?
Right.
And it can trigger other behaviors too. So, um, I think that's a big part of it in that scenario.
Yeah. And I mean, the newness, it was a new, I guess, positive situation. I mean, and of course, I don't
Yeah.
know, like she pranced at the end, because usually when dogs are groomed, or my experience has been, they feel like, oh, I look so good. Like, and I think even
Well,
that
they
gave her
feel good.
confidence to be groomed down good because she was real scruffy.
Yeah.
But she did like them. But as soon as she saw me, she was like, see ya to them.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah, for
like
sure.
pulling at the leash.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah, I felt good about that because then I had like 2 hours where I could just not worry about her because she also
Yeah.
wasn't here in my crate. So I think some of that's my energy too. I was like, oh, she's with people, right? Not alone in the crate. And so like I
Yeah.
ran some errands.
All
But
right. So you felt free, right?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having a harder time feeling free when I leave her in the crate.
Yeah. So you felt free. What else did you feel?
I felt a lot more like I didn't feel rushed. Like I feel like
Yes.
even when I'm doing my workout, like honestly,
Okay.
I don't rush my workouts because I'm pretty diligent with my workouts. But in my
Yeah.
mind, I start to feel rushed. Like maybe I should like cut this corner short, or like maybe I should
Yeah.
like hurry up to
Yeah.
get back.
All right. So this is perfect, especially because, last couple of weeks for you has been energy and body and breathing and that kind of thing. So what that just did for you, Tally, is that it gave you that change and that shift of energy to be free, to be relaxed, and to not feel rushed, right?
Hmm.
It's the first time you probably truly felt it since the day you brought her home.
Yes.
Yes. So now you see what energy you've been sharing with her since you brought her home.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want you to do your best to trigger that sense of freedom and peacefulness and no need to rush now when you're around her.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
It's that shift.
I will say like the last several times I've had to put her in the crate, I've been very mindful about even just like slowing down my movements. And so when I
Yeah.
put her in, she will not make a noise until I walk out the door and close the door. And as soon as I close the door and I start to lock it, then she's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, what's happening? Like you
Yeah.
left me." And before it was like as soon as I put her in the crate. So, I mean,
Okay.
that is better. That's better. And she's not doing the crazy run around thing after either, other than to
Okay.
like dry herself off from all.
Yeah. So I want you to slow it down even more than what you're doing.
Okay.
So I want you to practice like you're going to go somewhere, but you're not going to. And I need you to extend the time between she's in the crate and when you go out the door.
Okay.
I want you to stretch that out to the point where she may know you're around the corner. You could just be hanging out there, whatever that it is that you're doing, because her brain can't sustain. What is she doing? What is she doing? What's going on? This is a very hard activity to sustain mentally before a dog starts to do this, right?
Yeah.
Which is truly what you're waiting for. So I want this brain to come like a feather coming down out of the clouds, right? It's just kind of got to float and then relax. And then it lands softly, which is her kind of like getting into a sit and maybe even lying down. And then when that happens, that's when you go out the door.
Yeah. That has yet to happen, a sit or a lie down in the crate that I've
Right.
seen. And you're
And-
right though too, because what I've been doing is getting everything ready, then putting her in so I can get out the door faster. So she's probably feeling my
Yeah.
scrambling energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this mindfulness, now you're becoming aware of, I'm so happy that the grooming thing happened right during this part of the program for you. That's a big deal. There's something to be said about the timing of that for you.
Yeah. Well, and also like, honestly, if I had gone in there and she was going to be too crazy, I just would have been like, never mind. Like, I'm going to try bathing her in the sink. But I was really glad I groomed her. I mean, I think she's happier too. Like, and to be honest, I don't know
Yeah.
the last time she got groomed, because I think that when they found her and took her to the shelter, they might have like shaved her down, because I know she was a hot mess when they first got her. So
Yeah.
I don't know when, and then they found her in the street. So I don't know when she's,
Yeah. Who knows what?
yeah.
Yeah. So at some point this weekend, practice the leaving, wait for the brain to kind of come down
Okay.
out of the clouds. And then that's when you walk out.
Okay.
Okay. Be out there for a few minutes, wait for the peacefulness to kick in, right? Listen for the quiet. When you hear the quiet, you walk back in, don't acknowledge her. Walk in, go open your pantry, look for a snack for a second, shut it, and then walk back out again.
Oh, walk back out again.
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I'm going to give you this example. I just had a Zoom call with somebody going through a much worse version of what you're dealing with.
Okay.
Okay. So you might have heard me talk about, or have I told you the story of like getting dogs out at daycare at the end of the day and helping the client get the dog in the back of the car?
Yeah. And then they stopped doing it once the dog learns it once.
Bingo.
Yes.
There. So we have to take that same context and treat it with coming in and going.
Or it's like the elevator thing. Right.
Correct. But here's the thing that we have to pay attention to. So think of this like a peaks and valleys kind of thing, right? So if we can leave her while she's down here, she's less apt to explode, right? But if we leave her simmering, it's easy for her to explode. So that's why I mean stretch out that process of you actually walking out the door so she can come relax and then get down here.
Okay.
So during these valley times, this is when we challenge. This is when I walk out the door.
Okay.
Okay? Chances are when you walk out the door, she goes like this, intensity-wise, right? She may be like, what's going on? What's happening? You may hear a bark, whatever, right? So we listen for the peacefulness, and then that's when we come back in the door. Okay? So chances are when we come back in the door, the peacefulness, she does what? She gets back up. Mom's home.
Right.
Oh my gosh, she's here, right?
Right.
So we can't challenge while we're up here. So that's why you're going to do something. I don't know what. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I can figure it out.
Right. And what we do is we still kind of keep track of her, corner of our eye. We're listening. We wait for her to go back down like this. I head back outside. She does this. And so what happens is this pattern keeps getting repeated, right? So if we do this enough, that turns into this. And it's not that big of a deal. And over time, it becomes this.
Okay. Well, this is interesting because so before I had her, I would go down and work out in the gym in my building. Then I would come back up, change, and then go out for a run or a walk, right? Because I was already so sweaty for my clothes. Sometimes it's so hot in Texas, I would have to change again. And then when it gets colder, I would also have to change into something warmer to go out. But I have not been doing that come back in because of her. So I've been changing my pattern because of her, because she gets so crazy when I come back in. Not crazy, but like she just wants out of the crate. So I'm wondering if we can get back if I can get back to a place where where I can do that.
So, okay, what do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to have happen? Or what do you want your morning routine to be? In a perfect world scenario, her behaviors are all right in check with what you need in the morning. Tell me what you want your routine to be.
We get up, I take her out, we come back in, I get all my stuff together for the gym, and I prep the kitchen. This is what I used to do. This is what I prefer to do. I would prep the kitchen. I would go down to the gym, do my workout, come back up, switch out my water bottle and my clothes or whatever, go back out. And then when I come back, then I'm like done with working out for the day outside of her walks. That would be ideal.
Okay. Do you want her to have any part of that or no?
No, she comes late. No, because like I want to go either walk or run for long enough that I'm gone for almost another hour.
Okay. Okay. So what time in the morning is all this going down?
Early. So usually I'm getting up around like 4:30, 4:40.
Okay.
But remember, I'm going to bed pretty early too, like around 8.
Right. So you want her basically to remain in the crate the whole time that you're working out. Is that accurate?
Yeah, until she can act like a regular dog.
Yeah. And so right now, so you're in an apartment building?
I am.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so where is she sleeping at night right now?
With me. Like when I'm here, she has free reign of the apartment. And she sleeps on my bed. I told you sometimes she goes like in those den spaces.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Sometimes goes under the bed, does whatever, right? Okay. So then your perfect world scenario is you get up, you'll take her out to go to the bathroom because you're going to be working out and doing your thing, right? So she goes out and does her bathroom routine, come back in, you're getting ready, you're getting changed, you're getting ready to get your water bottle, all that fun stuff, right? And then you want to be able to put her into the crate so that you have 100% your time.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So you just work on this crate thing and you've got that.
I'm working on it. Well, but I mean, I'd like to be able to do it and come back and then leave again while she stays in the crate. But I'm feeling, I know this is about me, but I'm feeling that like I can't come in between because she'll lose it more if I come back and still leave again. But I don't think that's true. I know that's not probably accurate, but in my mind, I'm having the anxiety. Like when I left her with the groomer, I was having the separation anxiety probably more than she was.
Yeah. So then we have to look at what energy we're leaving behind.
Okay.
So let's say, you know, the auctioneers, they talk real fast, right? Let's say that person walked into your house, talked to you like that for 10 minutes straight, and then walked out. Right? I'm not saying that's you, but what I'm saying is that's energy. And when they walk out, it's still not gone yet.
Right.
That's an energy that's left behind. It doesn't just shut off. So that for you is that feeling of freedom that I want you to trigger of like, I am free because I am putting you into the crate.
Right.
Right. So I almost want there to be this like detachment, if you will, right? To where you can let go completely and then I can go do my thing and I don't have to take a shortcut.
Yeah.
Right. I can just do my thing and I am free to come back into my house, do as I please and leave again. Right. Refresh everything that you need to refresh. We're talking just minutes for you to come in and do your thing and leave again, right? Not like an hour or anything.
I'm under 5 minutes.
So yeah. How old is she again?
They said she's around 3.
Okay. And I'm sure you've tried to put Kongs or chews or something in there with her, right?
Yeah, and so I've tried all of that, and now when I put her in the crate, she won't touch anything till I'm back. So I tried like leaving treats, I tried like everything, and so then I stopped putting the treats in there because she just wasn't touching them at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And but I don't know if you remember, I do give her all her meals in there. I give her all her meals in there, and she will go in and out. She doesn't have a problem with the crate. It's just me walking out the door, because she'll go in and out of the crate during the day. She'll go check it out, like her food bowl. She's like, oh, did it magically get refilled? Like, she's going in and out of there.
But at that time that you're leaving to go work out in the morning, when she walks into the crate, does she walk in, turn around, and wait right here at the doorway before you shut it? She did
at first, but you told me to do that. So now I'm very cognizant of making sure she's turned around and facing me before I'm slowly closing the door, like gently, and making sure. And she gives me that look, that look. Right. I'm like, it's hard to take.
Here's the thing. You can slow this down even more. I know it's crazy because you feel like everything's slow motion already. But by you putting her in there and leaving the door open but standing there, right? And so she goes to get out, we just kindly put her back in. Okay. Or you can even just shut the door, but not latch it. But you shut the door to kind of back her up and then open it again. So I don't want her to be like sealed up until this brain has literally, guess what?
Slowed down a bit.
Okay. Yes. Because what's happening is you're putting her in and it puts her into this mode, right? Where she's like, what's going on?
Well, first she's sad and then she goes into that mode.
Yeah. Well, the sad is the avoidance.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So when we say avoid instead of sad, it has a much different tone to it, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's the avoidance.
Yeah.
It's the avoidance.
Yeah. So when the door shuts and she's like, huh? And then you go to the door and she's like, whoa, wait. Everything just starts, because what are we doing? We're challenging her while her brain is up here instead of down here. And by challenge, I mean we're going out the door, or we're shutting the gate or the crate door when she's up here.
Right. So if I'm slowing it all the way down, she's still, and I'm taking my time before going out and doing other, pretending to do other stuff.
Yeah.
If she's not quieting down, I'm still walking out the door. Yes.
No. That's why you have to practice this when you don't need it.
Okay.
So you can take that extra time.
Okay.
That's all. Give yourself, Tali, 30 minutes to get out the door.
Okay.
I want you to take that much time.
Okay.
Okay. Just so you can see, because that'll be a good baseline for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying.
Think this through. And then, so I'll get to Becky here, and then we'll swing back around.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Hey, Becky.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Doing all right. I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
But I'm actually glad that Tali's talking about the crate thing, because that actually may help a little bit. I may have missed that connection a little bit with Paisley.
Yeah.
So we have been doing after the walk, take her pack off, leave the leash on, and guide her into the crate.
Yep.
She doesn't doing it anymore, but she doesnment calm down and get fine when I try to leave the house. So I'm like, I'm running the same problem, but like I can't get her into the crate. She doesn't go on her own anymore when I do that. So I'm like, okay, well, she's picked up on the one, but not the other.
Yeah.
One of the things that I don't know what prompted me to give it a try, but I put in, because it was getting really bad to the point where she wouldn't calm down. And I'm like, I need to go. So I put a towel over the back of a chair, and it can't now see the door anymore, even though she can still see me a little bit.
Yeah.
No problem. She barely whines or anything.
Perfect.
So all right, well, that's just a Band-Aid, but we'll run with it. And so she can understand that. I mean, even when I get to the car, there's no sound, no whining, no nothing.
Yeah.
No,
So
wow.
instead of looking at it like a Band-Aid, Becky, I want you to look at it as a layer. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the leash is a layer. The backpack that you're using is a layer, right?
Okay.
To get the brain to where you want it to be. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's our job that once what we're trying to teach is repeatable, right? So it's almost internalized to the dog.
Yeah.
We'll just use walking for the because you'll understand this. So let's say walking has now become a piece of cake. The cows are no issue, right? So
Okay.
then what happens is, well, now we take the backpack away
Yeah.
because it's where we need it to be. So in the crate, going back to the crate thing, you put the towel there, right? Yeah, for the time being until it becomes autopilot that when you put her in, the brain goes, right?
Yeah.
When that becomes automatic, then the towel can be taken away.
Okay.
So I always work in layers, right? Some dogs need a lot of layers to get where we need to get to. Some dogs don't need that much. It all depends on numerous factors. But the
Okay.
goal is to always bring the dog back to neutral to some degree. And it's
Okay.
okay to use these layers to help that happen. So I don't look at things in terms of band-aids unless we're doing it for the sake of not ever putting in any effort to work on it again.
Okay.
Right? Like that to me is like, if I just do this, it'll take care of it and I don't have to worry about trying to change the behavior. Which even if we had that attitude after 6 months, there's a good chance you're still going to end up with the same, like you're not going to need the towel anymore. But
Hmm.
if we're cognizant of it, then that layer, that Band-Aid doesn't have to be there as long.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does, because that's what I'm running into with the e-collar now as well. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw you yet.
I was just going to watch him tonight. I hadn't seen it yet.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So one of the pieces, I forgot that I had the e-collar. And so I was like, okay, well, they're not listening and getting the hint when I'm telling them to leave it.
Yeah.
So especially. So I was
Yeah.
like, why have I not attempted to do this yet? So I
Yeah.
put the collar on. Paisley responded to it as I had expected. When she got buzzed, she kind of like retracted and kind of slid in behind me as like I'm trying to hide kind of emotion.
Yeah. Avoidance.
Right. And eventually it stopped. But so the cows haven't really been out much. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad, but at the same time, I really want them to be out there so we could really get this practice.
Yeah.
And
See, so the e-collar is another layer. That's all.
yeah, makes sense.
See, if you're building a sandwich and we talk about layers, it's not that big of a deal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so all it took was a couple of times of buzzing her, and we put them on just to have on. And just by them being on, when we go walking, it's like, okay, that thing is there. I know what I need. And
so if you're going to use the e-collar, Becky, what I would do is I would put it on first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. Take it off when you leave for work.
Okay.
Put it back on as soon as you get home.
Okay.
Take it off when you go to bed.
Interesting.
Yeah, because otherwise they become cognizant. They become collar savvy, if you will, knowing that when this goes on, my brain goes like this because I know what's coming.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That way it keeps them in a relaxed state of mind.
Well, they learn like just because you have this on doesn't mean we're going to go for a walk and we're going to get buzzed.
Okay.
Do you see?
The association control.
Right. And then days that you have off, let's say you're going to be home all day or whatever.
Yeah.
As soon as you put it on in the morning, you leave it on and you don't take it off until you go to bed.
Okay.
So anytime that you are not there, they come off.
Okay.
Yeah.
After off bed. Okay. That I kind of like that. We'll definitely
Yeah.
give that.
Like for
You-
trainers that do board and trains with dogs that wear e-collars,
Okay.
or they're teaching an e-collar or whatever, those dogs wear those the whole time, except for when they go into their crate. As long as that trainer is there, that dog has it on.
Even if they're not physically on, it's just on the dog. Like literally on, so where they could get buzzed, kind of
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always, they're always wearing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It might help
Yeah.
because it's working a little. I'd like to have that when they're trying to deal with the cat, and they've gotten a lot better with the
Yeah.
cat. Ballsy and
Yeah. Because see, it's no different if you have let's say you have a squirt bottle, right?
Mhm.
And it's sitting on the counter. It's no different than if they do something wrong and you go over and grab the squirt bottle and they go, oh crap, here it comes.
I
Right?
totally to make that association.
Yeah. So because when it comes to squirt bottles, I want to be a sniper, right? I want to be like, if they're going to counter surf, I'm going to just kind of grab it and just go, and then like this, because I want them to go, where the hell did that come from? So it helps remove me from this scenario.
Yeah.
But if I'm
Okay.
Clint Eastwood, like with holding a 357, well, now we have a whole different vibe happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the other pieces that's in that video, I mean, I can't tell you how many of like yay type of moments I'm having lately. I mean, this walk tonight, they're finally to a position of they can look where I've been keep them from looking, and it just not even a bother.
That's good.
They're all right. We're going. So more pack walking, which has been huge. And Paisley's actually gotten a lot better with cars coming from behind us, not like cowering and hiding. And she just keeps going without even looking. I'm like, oh my God. So there's some of those moments. And the other day, it just happened by luck. We get in all those videos I sent you. The dog house, they were out in the house that they're kind of gutting out. Yeah. And the dog, they all interacted. And I just was, holy crap. And the girl didn't redirect once.
Nice.
At all.
So are those in the videos that you sent me?
Yes. There were a bunch. I had to kind of condense them down.
So if you want, because I'll do another round of questions here, is that when I can come back to you, we can watch one of them if you want to on here.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. So let me jump over to Jana here and back up, and then when I come back to you, we'll open one up and we'll break it down.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Jana, you there?
Yes, but my video is not working on.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me see if that helps. I'll send you a little message to see if anything pops up on your end.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if you were. There you are. Perfect.
Okay.
Good. I mean, isn't this so obvious? So Becky and I are in Vermont, right? Becky's not that far from me. It's literally pitch black out here. And I look over your shoulder, Jana, and I'm like, come on, really? Like, All right. How's it going with you?
It's okay. I just got home, and one of the most annoying thing he does, I can control the new dog I just picked off the road. He doesn't run off. And Radley is the one, if he gets a chance, he has to dart out of the gate, does his round, and then he comes back.
Out of what gate?
Our gate of the house, of the property.
Oh, so he's going off property.
No, it's still technically property. It's the front lawn, which is it's a good size. It's maybe half an acre.
Okay. So this is like through the gate to get into your yard that's all fenced in.
Yes.
Gotcha. So what do you want to have happen in that situation?
That he is like the other dogs and doesn't go out and takes off.
So does he like bust through the gate like he's super excited?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's got to go on leash so you can teach him.
Which we do when we go walking. I make him sit, and then I make everyone sit. I go out first, and they just go when I leave, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What week are you in right now, Jana?
I'm on week 3.
Okay. So leash handling's coming up for you in a couple of weeks. So once you get through that, then we'll be able to address it because you'll have some leash skills, and this will be a good thing for you to practice with him. You know, once you kind of get some skills underneath your under your belt here before you get into that. Okay. But for the time being, do you have a long line?
Yes.
I would put him on that so that when he goes through, he doesn't have access to like go through with Augusto, right? I want you to slow that down in terms of, I just want you to kind of like speed bump it for him. Okay. So that his energy can come down and match everybody else's, which is sounds like is what you want. Like you're cool with the way everybody else does it, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's also the door opener. He opens the door, even if the cat sits in front of the door on the outside or the other dogs. And he doesn't want to come in, but he opens the doors for the other animals. And he has to be in and he has to be out, and he does it on his own terms. And it gets really annoying at this point.
See, so this is him moving forward, right? Yeah. And I think we talked a little bit about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is, again, the leash handling is going to help slow that down. And so to him, he's not doing anything wrong because he's getting what he wants and what he desires from that forward movement, which is the opposite. The scared or nervous dog is going to run and hide because that makes everything go away. Right? You see how it can be manipulated either way.
So if he's at the door, jumping at the door and trying to open it and we have it locked, but he wants to come in, should I not let him come in? How do I, if I open the door every time he starts that, then that's counterproductive, right?
So you're talking about him being on the other side of the door wanting to come in?
Or out. So what we usually do, because he's, it's going for 5 minutes, he doesn't stop, then we let him in. So he got technically his way. I mean, not technically, he got his way.
He got reinforced for it.
Yeah.
So what do you want to have? This is what I mean. I want you to start thinking of what you want to have happen, because sometimes we get into that tunnel vision of my dog does this wrong. My dog does this wrong. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know how to fix it. And then we literally start programming our brain to start telling the dog that I don't want that. And we can't program our brain into, hey, what I really want to have happen is this. Right. So then we have to build this bridge from what we really despise to what we want. And we go, okay, how do I break this down? Which is why you're doing this program and why I'm here. How do I break this down to finally teach him what I want and make this suitable for you? Yeah. So what do you want to have? Let's say this, and we keep it simple. As simple as it is, when it's time for him to go outside, what do you want him to do?
Maybe sit in front of the door.
Okay.
Like the other dogs, instead of just jumping up and trying to open the handle.
Yeah. So for me, if he's jumping up like a Mexican jumping bean, right? I'm going to grab a leash. I'm going to go over. I'm going to put it on him. I'm going to put him into a sit. Okay.
Okay. That's what I'm missing. I just get the leash. I mean, okay. It's just so simple.
I know. I know.
Yeah. It's
I know.
Yeah. And then because the leash works every time, he doesn't run off when he has the leash on, or the long leash comes back.
Yes.
Okay.
So see what's happened is, so his forward movement has made it so that we end up giving him too much freedom too soon. And so his brain's not making the decisions that we wanted it to make. So for me, if he's jumping at the door, I grab the leash, I go over, I put him into a sit, I get him to chill. And then from there, I'm going to go sit down for 5 minutes with him on the leash next to me.
Okay.
Because I need to reprogram that. That's what's going on at the door. Okay. You with me so far?
Yep. So
Okay.
if I have my dog beds right by that door. Could I put him back on the dog bed or not?
No, because so you come over, you sit with him, you get him to chill out. Then from here, now I walk over to the door. I put him into a sit. I wait 15 or 20 seconds, and then we go outside.
Oh, okay. I go outside with him.
Yeah, because we have to teach him what we want during all these steps.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to create is I'm chilling you out at the door, and then I'm removing you from the door. We're maintaining chill. We go back to the door. We're still chill, and now I'll let you out.
Okay.
Because if I just take him in a couple different things, if I give him a place command, his excited brain is just going to go onto that bed and stay excited. If I lead him over onto the bed, I still haven't addressed the excitement that's happening at the door.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to chill him out at the source that creates the excitement. I want to pull him away so that then I can restart this cycle of what I want to show him when it's time for us to go outside.
So, and let's say we walk back to the door and he's still excited. I just walk back with him.
That's the speed bumping part. So let's say you walk to the door, he gets excited. I stop and I wait for him to chill. And then I start going a little forward. And as soon as he gets excited, I stop. I wait for him to chill. Then we start going forward. So he's learning. The only way I make forward movement is for my brain to go more neutral, not more forward. So he's forward in a lot of things that he does.
Okay.
And so I want to bring that back.
So he learns basically he's not going forward unless I allow it.
Bang. You just nailed it.
Okay.
You just nailed it. And there are times you can do that, right? You can, open up the gate to the yard at some point and you can cut him loose and be like, go ahead. Now he gets to, right? Whatever you want to create. But for me, I want to you're just going to literally chip off layers here of the glacier, if you will, to get to where you need to be in the center.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Use the leash. Dog trainers use leashes more inside than outside.
Okay.
So that gives you permission to use it whenever you want to inside to create and direct and influence the brain as much as you want. Especially
because now it's like 3:30 in the morning. He wants to go out because he heard something. I mean, it's like, and it's no.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be back in the crate.
Yeah.
I just have one more quick question. It's just so I have the 3 dogs and the new dog, and all the other 2 sleep on their bed in our bedroom. And Radley never sleeps in our bedroom. He always sleeps outside the bedroom in the living room on the couch.
Okay.
He's always removed a little bit from the pack.
I wouldn't say he's removed from the pack. He's a little bit more independent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering what you think, if there's anything I need.
It's just where he's comfortable. Yeah, I don't look at it like he hates you or is not part of the pack or anything like that. I mean, look, I know I do this a lot. The ducks that I have out there, the 17 baby duck, well, they're not babies anymore, but the 17 that are always together, they're not all in one big pile when they lie down and to go to sleep. There's some that are here, and then there's some that are a little bit more on the perimeter. It's a natural thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Think of any herd, flock, pack, whatever you want to call it. There's always going to be ones on the perimeter.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
That should give me something to work on. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. All right. Tali, back to you.
I wanted to ask you about this again. So the other day we talked about, remember I was telling you when I went to the trash can and she was like not letting me get all the way to throw out her poop.
Yeah.
So I tried doing what you said, the walk by the few times.
Yeah. How did that go?
Walk by thing. It works. It works in all the trash cans except this one particular one, which is the one that she is the most resistant to. And I can't figure it out because this one is not necessarily louder. Some of the other ones are louder, like more creaky when I'm opening or closing them. And I'm trying to be mindful of when I'm opening and closing that it's not slamming.
Yeah.
But she's still, so I watched her body language and she's doing this, like she's like scooting back and she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's only with this one. I cannot figure it out.
But can you walk by it or no?
I do. We usually will do several. I'm doing several like walk bys.
So how is she in that moment when you're just walking by?
She doesn't care, but she'll be like further out on the perimeter, like further away.
So then she cares.
Yeah, but only with this one. I can't figure it out. They all look exactly the same.
But here's the thing: we can't look at that. The reason why.
Okay.
Because nobody's ever interviewed a dog.
Right.
Right. So don't worry about the whys. I just look at the now, which is as you approach it, she goes like this, and you get by it, and then she probably does this, right? Mm-hmm. So you're in avoidance. So guess what you need to do?
The back and forth.
The back and forth. Except what I would do is once you get by, let's say you make it 10 or 20 feet by, celebrate with her. Okay? Make it a good time. That was great. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud that you made it by the super scary trash bin.
Right.
Right? Okay. Yeah. Yep. Hang for a second, come back through. Celebrate with her.
Okay.
Okay. So that's an option. The other option is, do you have is this right outside your building?
Yeah, this is the one that's closest to the door that's in and out.
Okay. So do you have a Kong? I know we've talked about this.
No, I don't. I don't have one for her.
Okay. So depending on, I got to get one of these because I saw them the other day at a local place. I think they're called like a lick stick. It's like a big.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, so I would want her to see if I can get her licking something as you walk by, and then at the end, once you walk by, then you can give her a piece of food. Like I want her brain on something else. You can also, I know she's short, so you can't really like walk bending over.
Yeah, I mean she's like pretty close to the ground.
Yeah. So the other option that you can do too, Tali, is that as you get closer to the bin here, whatever, I would turn around and hold the leash this way and backpedal so that she's facing me. And then I want her to follow this way.
Okay.
Because then that takes her brain and it may put it up towards you. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then once you get back far enough, you can celebrate.
Okay.
But
so it's all about the distraction then?
No, it's about, I want to get her into acceptance.
But isn't she distracted if she's looking at me or going to the lick stick?
So I'm triggering her nose.
Okay.
To eventually, remember I was just talking about this with layers with Becky, right? So like the lick stick or the food gives me a layer so that she can start to create this association with the scary thing. Okay.
Okay.
And then what happens is I can take it away. We can walk by, we can celebrate.
Okay.
So to me, so we have avoidance, right? Like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also distraction, which is look at me. Don't look at the big scary dog over there. Look at me, right? So I'm trying to create this distraction of like, just stick with me. Don't worry about the big scary thing. Mm-hmm. That to me, that's the Band-Aid that typically doesn't ever go away.
Okay. Got it.
Because I'm saying, look at me, right? Here, I'm holding the cookie. Look at me. It's up here, right? Don't look over there. And I have to hold it next to my eye because that way you might look in my eye. Meanwhile, their brain is in avoidance. They're like this. And there's usually the energy of like, look at here. This is not a chill energy.
Right.
Right. So we're not going to get acceptance if we keep saying, look at me here. We'll never get the dog to go, well, that's not so bad. No, it really isn't. So you can use distraction but that is not a long-term philosophy here,
Okay.
right? I may have to use it, or I may have to get the nose engaged to become more curious, but the goal is acceptance.
Okay.
Distraction typically leads to avoidance, and then it ends there. It never gets
And then it
beyond
stops. Okay.
this. Don't look at it. I'll be fine. I won't look at it. Yeah.
So then it would be
Actually,
good.
sorry, I got to interrupt because now it just hit me. You know what you should do?
Tell
Tie
me.
the leash around the trash bin and just stand there next to her.
Okay. It's going to be like the crate all over again.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's no emotion in that leash that's being tied to the post. Right?
Right.
No emotion. So she's doing all this stuff, and what is the post doing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not moving.
Which is typically what we need our brain to be doing in that moment, which is nothing.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And
All right.
and you can't make any sounds with that thing while she's tethered to it. You just sit there.
Okay.
You can
Just
even
like
get
stand
down
next to her?
Yeah, you can even get down on the ground next to it if you want to.
Okay.
But she's not allowed to like crawl up into your lap like she's going to get into your pocket.
Okay.
Right? We don't want to nurture that avoidance. But I would do that after you've passed it a few times.
Okay.
And you can do that fluidly. Yeah.
Okay. I'll work on it. Thank you.
It's just like the elevator, right? You kind of had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not sure what changed in her to be able to not mind the elevator. Like, I don't know what changed for her.
Well, that's something you have to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have to. Well, her legs are a little too small to go up and down the 3 flights of stairs. Like,
so if you look at it like that, like you didn't really have a huge choice, Tali, right? This is a part of your life. This is what's going to happen.
okay,
So that's the way you dealt with it
okay,
because you knew long term that this is what you wanted, right?
yes,
Yes. You know, long term, I want you to be able to walk by this trash thing because there's no reason for you to be afraid of it, but you don't know that yet.
right, okay,
So we have to spend time next to it with nothing bad happening and repeat it so she understands like, oh, okay, well, I'm cool with that.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work
Okay.
on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Becky, I know you just stepped away. I can pull this up. Oh, I can do.
Sorry about that. I had a stove.
That's all right.
On
That's
stove.
all right.
Like, oh shoot.
Okay. So I'm just going to go with this first one. It's like 38 seconds or something.
Okay.
So let me share my screen.
So I tried to load them in succession of like the first one should be kind of at the beginning of all the interaction and then later in the action.
Yeah.
We were there just letting this all happen for like 40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. You see this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me get this ginormous thing out of the way. I'm going to put it up here. Okay.
Let it happen. Let's see what goes.
What do you see back here with Rocky?
The tail was the one thing that I was kind of in the. I mean, even Susan was seeing heckles on him, but
yeah, but what's the one?
Wasn't necessarily anything concerning to me.
Yeah, what's the one word that describes him right now? First 5 seconds, I'll replay it.
Let it happen. Let's see what goes.
What?
Avoid unsure.
Bang. Nailed it. So if we have an unsure mind, what should we do with it? in this setting?
That's a good question, because I know Michael kept kind of going to try and quiet him down because of the bark versus recognize the body.
Yeah, but did you see what happened when he moved towards him?
He avoided and away.
Right there. See? Moved away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the brain that's going rough, rough, rough. Somebody moved towards it and he goes, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that guy that's got all this energy and doing all this stuff, I've got to be like smooth as butter when I even if I have to talk to him. Like I'm not going to move quickly. I'm just going to be here, right? Like yeah. So you don't have to do anything, right? Not your dog. But
no.
This is the importance of understanding what's going on within even the perimeter here.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what Michael was doing, but it was more focused.
But see, and I know Michael, so this is the energy. He's sharing excitement with excitement, trying to get it to get him to calm down.
Right. And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of action.
Yeah.
But then I kind of stopped looking at Rocky, and I started looking at the interaction with Charleston and Lolly. Playing. My mouth was open wide. And
yeah.
I mean, Charleston backs up and allows that.
Okay, what's the big shake?
Shaking off stress.
Yep. So feeling more comfortable. So there's one part in here makes me a little uncomfortable. And it's this right here. So let's say Charleston turned on her. Right?
Okay.
What's the escape plan for Charleston?
Nothing.
Why?
Because it's too taut.
It's not that it's taut. It's that Charleston is on the other side of your dog. So what happens is, if I'm the one holding Charleston and stuff goes sideways, usually our first reaction as dog owners is to do this.
Right. That makes sense.
So if she was to do that, let's say it was a regular leash. If she was to do that, what would it do to Charleston and your girl?
Smack them together. Yeah.
Even more intense. And things were already going sideways to start with.
A little bit.
Right? So this is where you have to advocate for your dog. Right? And you could say, Susan, it's actually better if you go around the other side so our leashes don't cross.
Which happened a bunch of times, actually.
Yeah. So, and I would even say dog trainers say that when leashes cross, it can become very, very dangerous. Okay. So that's the way I would address that. Okay. I'm glad. Mm-hmm. Look, if your girl went further around, ooh, that would have given me the shakes. Like,
it's
dangerous.
They kind of circled in like a hurricane style. Like Charleston would kind of come around to sniff Lolly, and Lolly kind of going around.
Yeah.
But then Paisley kind of comes in. So it was, I mean, with Rocky even just coming over, the girls would have immediately started redirecting on each other. So the fact that there's right now is just.
Yeah, but so the reason that happened. See, so
he petting her.
What?
He was petting her when that.
Yeah, but so the reason she didn't redirect is, so what is she doing in this moment right here?
That's a good question.
What's her nose doing?
Let's see what goes. Smelling.
And the nose controls how much of the brain?
60%.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense that she doesn't trigger from something else in that moment.
Yeah.
Not saying that it couldn't get too intense that she would snap, but what I'm saying is at this moment, the sniffing and being with this other dog is more important and more valuable than the guy making noise over here. You see?
Yeah. I just can't contain the with this. Come on. You hear me kind of like.
Okay, so look, this is where Charleston started to get overwhelmed.
Although, yeah, because Paisley came in.
But what did you see from Charleston that told you he started to get overwhelmed?
His tail went down and he kind of started to walk away, try to like move his butt away because he was still focused on Lolly.
Right. So the beauty of this right here. There. See how he's curling himself?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this moment, he's trying to say, I am no threat. I'm making myself look small.
Yeah.
So this is him going, hey, this is a little too much for me right now.
Okay.
And so it's important that when we recognize that, then we limit our dog, just like when I was talking to Jana, right? We have to limit that forwardness because she just doesn't recognize it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just our job to teach her to be like, whoa, that dog needs space. Just come over here for 3, 4, 5 seconds. That's it. Doesn't mean we have to go home. It's not that bad. Yeah.
Okay. Because there were times when both girls.
Is that Rocky doing the groaning?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
There's a big shake.
Yeah. Kind of holding on to him, restricting him from like progressing. He kept kind of trying to get him to lay down and just held on. He didn't have a leash.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of kept telling him, well, let him go. Let's because I'm thinking, and the more he kind of tried to play a little bit with him to calm him down, all it was doing was exciting him more and more and more.
Yeah.
Because in one of the videos, there's a screenshot because it was like perfect to see his face with Lolly. He did snap at her. And that's when we were like, okay, day's over. I think this stop.
Yeah, but so here's the thing to remember too, though, Becky, is that if one dog snaps at another for whatever reason, we can't call it a day at that moment.
Okay.
We have to recover, bring them back to chill, and then separate.
Okay.
Otherwise, the last thing they remember about being together was snapping.
Snapping. Shoot. Okay.
So always end the session the way you want the next one to begin.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Was it kind of because he was holding on to Rocky? Was that
probably
maybe
added to it?
Going, okay, it's done.
You could have added to it. So the other part that concerns me here, which now you know, is this right here. This leash that goes across almost both your dogs.
Yeah.
So next time you chat with Susan, let her know.
Okay.
Okay.
It was great and stayed within motion. Like she would come through and untwist.
Yeah.
Here.
See, now she's moving.
Right?
Yeah. Makes sense?
It does. And the next video, in the same interaction, I stopped it so I could flip the video or the camera over. So it was.
Gotcha. Yeah. Jana, do you have another question? You're still muted.
No, I'm good. I learned a lot with what you just said, how to end a session, because the dogs are with the neighbor's dog sometimes on the chain link. And my neighbor then grabs his dog. He's probably more the aggressor. It's a rescue Doberman. Yeah. But you really don't want, when they get in a fight between the fence, like snarling at each other, what do you do then?
What do you mean? So there's a fence in between, they're snarling at each other?
Yeah.
Both, like your own dogs or somebody else's dog and your dog?
My neighbor's dog and my dogs.
You have to remove your dog.
Okay, remove the dog.
Right? Yeah, you can't control what's going on the other side. So I would just separate, but not remove.
Just step back.
Okay. You have a leash. You may have have to have a leash just handy, like hanging around your neck when you hang outside with the dogs. because you never know when you just have to go over, hook, walk away in the middle of your yard and hang there.
Mm-hmm. But
Let
it's
that
usually
other-
fun, yeah. It's just when you get them all together, then it's when the other dog, I guess, feels overwhelmed. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of excitement.
Yeah.
Forwardness again, right? Forward.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Lots to work on. Thank
Yep.
you.
You're welcome. All right. Becky, we can go back here now. Just wanted to make sure we're all doing our turn stuff here. Where's my share? Right there. Okay. So this looks, so it says 0, 0, 0. This doesn't look like a video. You're still muted.
Sorry about that. It should be fine because this is how it starts, and then eventually you can see my phone will flip.
Oh, well, it says 25 seconds there. So why are
Yeah.
you doing this to me?
Flip over.
There, now
See
it
what's happening.
changed. That's a little much right there. You see, and I saw before the dog started to back up. So it's a lot of pressure on Charleston to have both of them next to him,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That was actually kind of cool. You could see it in him. So watch this again. 1, okay. 2, watch the tail. See how high it is? Now look at how low it goes. Do you see that?
That was not him growling. That was Rocky.
Right. But still, we're talking Charleston, right?
Right.
Yeah. See how he backs up?
Yeah. It was
So
just that
watch.
when Rocky started growling, so it kind of makes it seem like it was Charleston. But yeah, no, I totally see what you're saying.
No. Take Rocky out of this for right now.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Hmm.
Remove Rocky. Both your girls moving in is what shifted Charleston.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay? And then, as I continue this, when Charleston backs up, watch what your girls do. What'd they do?
They kept moving towards him.
They took the space that he gave up.
Okay.
So that's them moving into his space even more.
Okay.
Right? So then that all of a sudden changes their dynamic. So then your dogs start to learn like, oh, I can take this guy's space. We can back him up together.
Oh.
Do you see?
I do. Yes, I see that.
Yeah. So, by the way, these videos are amazing because I feel like they're teaching you a ton.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Been wanting this for a while with these guys.
Yeah.
And it just happened naturally.
See, so there's so much in this video. So Charleston, here's the thing. Charleston's going to back up because he's now going into avoidance, right?
Okay.
Your dogs come in, so then he goes, oh, I'm going to turn sideways and start to move around, which he's going to do right here. Turn sideways. Do you see how he went over this way?
Yeah.
Because he's still in avoidance. What he's trying to do is come around so he can get a sniff back here.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
so, right.
But Lolly's got eyes on him.
Yeah, so Lolly's like putting a lot of pressure on him.
And that's normal. There would be a problem. It's what's interesting though, Lolly going in, did she kind of like block him from sniffing Paisley then? Just there?
No.
Okay.
See the avoidance again, just right there?
Of him?
Yeah, watch. See that move forward with her head right here? Watch right there. Watch what he
Lolly?
does. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
She moves forward. What does he do? He turns sideways.
Yeah.
The avoidance kicks in.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that everything needs to be kumbaya, rainbows, and butterflies here. What I'm saying is these are the things to start to learn how to pick up on, so that then you can start to manipulate and play this like a symphony, so everybody gets along and they learn the rules of what it's like to be together.
Definitely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can even see Charleston's eyes, right? You can see the whites of his eyes here as he's looking left, but he's moving right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of keeping an eye on where they are.
Yeah. And you can even see, like, look at his left front leg, how much he pronounces that there. Like,
yeah.
Right? That unsureness.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he likes Paisley.
Yeah. That makes some sense with some of the other further interaction that they had.
See, he's not afraid to go nose to nose with her. I think yeah. See, so look, I just saw it. I didn't see it before. See, he can be nose to nose with Paisley, right? You see this?
Right there.
Yep. But now watch. Now, when Lolly picks her head up and looks towards him, that's what makes him back up.
Ooh, he's not as keen on Lolly.
No.
Interesting.
See how much that's making him? And now it's double trouble moving in, right? Yeah. But see, who does he want to come back around and sniff?
Yeah.
Paisley. Wants to sniff. Paisley. Even that right there. I missed that before. This is why you have to watch this a number of times.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So watch, look at the eyes. Look at Charleston's eyes. Which way is he looking, even though what he's sniffing is in front of him?
He's looking at Lolly.
Yeah. So when Lolly moves in, I'm backing up. I'm out. Yep, I'm out. That's a lot of pressure. I'm backing up.
Like Lolly's the protector.
No, it's just pressure.
Oh, just pressure. Okay.
There's no protector here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. There. And see, he just opened up his mouth. You see this?
Yeah.
So he's had it shut the whole time. Now he can go, I just made it through. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even Susan was blown away by how well Charleston did.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that, right?
Yeah. That one last video.
So this says 1 second too, but I don't know.
This is the one. That's the interaction. So
yeah.
There's a still shot of the look of Lolly looking at Charles or at Rocky. And
yeah. You can see the tail.
About the tail. That's why I did a screenshot of it. And I were like, oh, look at his tail. That's very different from when he was.
Yeah. We call it a scorpion tail.
Okay. That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, look, it looks like a scorpion is ready to sting, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's ready to bite, but that's just the terminology.
Sure.
Dog trainers say, like, so we understand how, like, it's not just up, it's like.
So explain to me what does that, when a tail goes into that motion?
Stimulation.
It's just overstimulated?
It's not overstimulated. It can just be like highly stimulated, and you don't know. Could be a dog. It could be a dog sees a deer in the property and that tail and everything is like right up, right?
Okay.
Could also mean that he sees a dog. Could be a person. It's all contextual.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. Oh shoot! I didn't mean to do that.
All good.
Yeah. Was that it, or was there another one?
I'm trying to think. I don't think there was another video. There were a couple more.
I just X'd out that whole thing. Okay, I got it back here.
At the beginning, it was awful. I was like totally trying to get the camera, and I did get it at the right moment to get it. but there's a still shot of the beginning of that little burst.
Oh yeah, there it is. I got it. Okay, hold on. That, right?
Yep. I don't think you see how Rocky's face or mouth is.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look at which way. This is Lolly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at which way Lolly's going. Look at her back legs. Like she's primed.
Yeah.
Moving forward. And Rocky's not ready for it. So what's happening is because the gap between them has decreased. Was he on a leash or no?
He wasn't.
Yeah.
And actually getting excited and had started like he wanted to play. And then he was moving already and Lolly was starting to follow him.
Yeah. See, so what's happening is he's in the fight or flight mode.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
All that this is, that gap closes, it puts pressure on him to make a decision.
Yeah.
And because he's more sideways here, he's going, no, I don't want this. Like, right? He's not going, hey, bring it.
No, exactly.
Right?
This has been so held back by Michael that he just definitely wanted to, and he had been kind of bounced around with wanting to like quote unquote play and had not had that reaction before the exposure. But a lot of the time they were standing there, my girls would stand with their butts towards the dogs as almost as in avoidance. I was figuring that's why one of the still shots is of that.
Was it afterwards, after everything?
It was throughout the whole time. Like when the dogs were all kind of calmed down and just being.
I think if they're calm and they're being, then they're in acceptance. They're not in avoidance.
With their faces being away from them.
Yeah, they're not worried about what's behind them in that context.
Oh, well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. I'm not worried about you back there. We're good.
Oh, fantastic. I
already got my sniffs in. We checked each other out. We mingled. Right?
Yeah.
We're all good. Okay. What else is going on around out here? Right?
Yeah.
Checking out the environment. Doesn't mean we're avoiding, just means we're good. And to me, it's the first signal of some trust, possibly. That I don't have to turn and face you to keep track of you wherever you go.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
I can turn around and go, all right, we good? Yeah, all right. Because we're giving glimpses of the dog, your dogs are getting glimpses of Charleston and Rocky being behind them without anything bad happening.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if one of them decided to jump one of your girls,
that'd be another story.
Yeah.
Which is glad happened. I mean, for we've been talking about this for a good couple of months that want to get them socialized, right? And the plan and to have that be one-on-one. And it just naturally happened that didn't happen. And that outcome to be, as long as we were able to be all together and nothing was just, I a few times looked at each other like dumbfounded that was actually happening.
Yeah. If you wanted to kick this up a notch, I would just get Paisley and Charleston together.
That does sound like a plan. Make a date.
And just make sure leashes never cross. They're always here, right? We never cross. Yeah.
But sense to have that meat still be with a pack on her for the weight.
Yeah, keep that layer on, right?
And so other thing I've mentioned in the message, it's actually, I forgot to tell you, is at the beginning when the dogs were all starting to kind of feel everything out before they even, I did buzz the girls just to kind of keep that heightened level down for them.
Sure.
That not been a good thing, or was that?
I would have had to have seen it, Becky, to
know for sure.
Be able to give you a yay or nay on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. No, I mean, that was good. I think you learned a lot with it.
Absolutely.
It was a good catch with videos and stuff. So no.
Yeah.
Just keep building on it.
There's other videos, but those were the ones that seemed to make more sense to share at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah. No, it's good.
Yay.
Yeah. It'd be good. You can start building up, you get some friends and you get a little play date here or there and start to build that up. Then it's good,
Together. That would be my hope.
Yeah.
Maybe even just with Charleston, but there's no way that they would be able to be all together without being leashed or fenced in for sure. But
Right. No, you have to take it extremely slow because you don't want to have to take any steps back. If you do, you do. You have to recover from it. But for right now, after seeing that, I'd be like, hey, we need to get Paisley and Charleston together for about 15, 20 minutes so that they can just mingle. Yeah.
Good. I'll try to set that up this week, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
For sure. I think it'd be really good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yay.
Cool.
I'm excited.
All right. Yeah.
I can't believe almost a year. Can you I can't grasp these last couple of weeks have been completely 180 for them. I don't know what dogs are. It's pretty awesome from where we were back in October.
For
almost
sure.
Maybe having to rehome one of them or both of them. Scenario with you.
Yep.
You. So
yep. Now you see why I said what I said about the work that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes time. It takes the commitment, the whole thing. The whole thing. I mean, but if I told you at that time, I'd be like, Becky, it's going to be a year before you see anything significant.
I would agree. Excuse me. I was like, no way.
You would have gone through that range of emotions of God, do I have it? But I want to do it. But do I have it? But can I do it? But it'll be amazing. But can I do it? Right? The whole thing.
Well, I'd already been that to hear it seemed impossible at that point. I feel like, and there's there was a lot that I couldn't do. I feel like they'd be a lot further along if my been the way it had been, and it still is an issue, but it's a lot better. So we're able to play a little bit more, and that's been helping. I think a pretty significant amount.
Sure.
I try to Paisley as often as I can, especially on walks. So when the car situation was going on, it would go by, I would stop and I would praise her and just say job, and I'd keep it low. And then sure enough, another car would come down a few minutes later and do the same thing. Right. And I feel really starting to help her too. I'm hoping. So we're riding that wave.
Yep. Ride the wave for sure. All right. So we'll wrap it up for tonight. Have a good night. And Becky, keep it up.
Will do. Thanks a lot, Ian.
Well, listen, baby. You can keep your pedigree family. This rescue dog is through with you.